Welcome back to Computer Applications. This is Mrs. Hoffman and this is lesson 4 of our Google Drive lessons. Today we're going to be working with Google Documents, and we're going to be learning how to create a new document. Be sure the document is saved properly in the proper location, make a copy of a document, and work with some basic setup of documents. And we'll also go through and show how to download a document as a different file type in case you want to use it for other purposes. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a new document, but it's always a good idea to think about where you want to save that document. You can always move it when you're done, but I know that I want to save it into my documents folder, so I'm going to go ahead and click there. And now when I create my first document, click on create and then document, it's automatically going to be put into that documents folder. So the very first thing you'll notice in the upper left hand corner is the document it says is untitled document, and so we want to give it a name, so we're going to click right on it. And this is just going to be a practice document, so we're just going to name it practice, and get in the habit of putting your initials at the end of your file names. That way when you share your assignments with me through the drive, I'll know whose file is whose. And now it's been renamed to practice, and that's the file I'm working on. If at any time I need to go back to my drive so I can work with other files or whatever, I just simply click this back arrow here and it'll bring me back to my drive. You will notice that your cursor is blinking on the screen, and it's ready for you to start editing and adding information and so on and so forth. We'll get into the editing things a little bit later on in a different lesson. Let's assume that we want to make a copy of this document. Maybe we have the original here and then we want to make a copy of it, sort of like using a save as feature in other software programs. In Google Documents it's called, or in Google Drive it's called move or make a copy. So I'm going to go to File, Make a Copy, and I'm just going to give it the name Practice 2 with my initials, and I'm going to hit OK. And now I have a file called Practice 2. If I need to go back to the previous one, actually let's see where this is saved to. Let's go back here. When you make a copy, I believe it just saves it in your drive and it does not assign it to a folder. So we need to move this to our documents folder. So I'm going to click on the checkbox arrow, and then I'm going to click on this folder option right here, which is move to. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and I'm going to double click on computer applications and click on documents, and now that practice 2 file, after I click on move, is now in there, and it will give you a little message there to display that. So let's go to our documents folder, and you'll see you now have practice and practice 2 in there, and let's work with practice. Go ahead and click on that. Once practice loads, then we're going to be able to do some basic editing of that file and do some basic page setup and things like that. And so here we are. Okay. The other file's taking a little longer to load, but I already had a tab open with it open, so I'm just going to use that from here. So from here I can go to File and go down to Page Setup, and I can do some basic things in here. I'm going to be able to change my margins. Remember, your margins are the white area that surrounds your document where you normally cannot type. You can make your margins smaller, which will give you a larger area to type on, or you can make them larger, which would make your area to type on less or smaller. So I would like you to change your left and right margins to 0.5, and this will just make our document a little bit wider to work with. If I wanted to turn my paper sideways for the different orientation, I would choose landscape. If I had a different paper size that I was working with, I would choose a different paper size. And if I want to make my background color a different color for the document for whatever reason, I can do that. So if we want to just be creative and play with that a little bit, we can go ahead and do that and then click OK. So just made some changes to my document here. Go ahead and type your name. Once in a while, Google will be a little lagging behind while you're typing and may not keep up, but for the most part it's okay. Sometimes if it's kind of busy, sometimes it's harder. Now from here So we just learned some basic page setup things that we can do. If you want to download the document as a different file type, so instead of keeping it as a Google document, maybe you want to bring it down as a Word document or a PDF or something along those lines, you're just simply going to click on File and you're going to go to Download As. And when you do that, you have all these options. You can download the file as a Word document, as an OpenOffice document, as a rich text format document, which is handy when you're working across platforms like from Apple to PC and so on. A PDF file, which is nice for files online, a plain text file, or a web page. And so you can just simply click on one of these and it will download it. So if I click on PDF document, it'll go ahead and then I can open it up as a PDF, and then I can save it as and save it in a different location. So that's how I would go about saving a document, saving a Google document as a different file type. Okay, so that's it for this lesson. We'll see you in lesson 5.